Welcome to the 10th Annual Forest City Film Festival. My name is Ethan Hickey, and I am the Managing Director of the Film Festival. It is my absolute pleasure to be hosting the world premiere of A Night with Nathan tonight. Let's give a round of applause for A Night with Nathan. Before we get going on this exciting film, I'd like to thank a few people on behalf of the festival for the reasons why we put on such a fantastic night for everyone. This festival is also supported by the London Arts Council and the City of London's Community Arts Investment Program. We would not be able to bring this event to you without each of our 38 sponsors and 14 community partners. From the mind of Londoner Brent Baird comes a story about friendship, belonging, and understanding. A Night with Nathan unfolds over one night as Stan and Nathan bar hop and party their way across the city, finding connection when they least expect it and need it the most. This film is a testament to the diversity of filmmaking in our city, a true indie film made by people with a passion and love for cinematic storytelling that you can feel through the screen. These guys are London born, and it's London made, and it's very London proud, and we're so excited to have it here to cap off our London on Screen night at the film festival. Have a great night, guys. We're very excited to be doing this Q&A. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Brent Baird, director, writer, and actor, Pete Comrie, writer, actor, and producer, Daryl Ailes, cinematographer, Rafia Iqbal, actor, and Marissa Rasmussen, actor. Okay, let's give another round of applause for all these fantastic cast and crew in this film. I would just love to start off by going one by one and everyone introducing themselves, their name, who they played, or what the roles were in the film.
Hi, my name is Marissa Rasmussen, and I played Jasmine in the film.
Pete Comrie, I'm Stan. Brent Baird, I'm Nathan, also co-writer, producer, director.
Same way, he just went farther for it.
Hi, I am Rafia Iqbal, and I play Mercedes.
And I am Daryl Ailes, and I was the cinematographer and editor on this one.
Brent, Pete, they always say, write what you know. And that's usually where filmmakers and writers start with scripts. So tell me, where did you guys come up with this idea for this crazy story?
I've talked about it before. I don't know what it was, but for my second film, I just wanted to do a male bonding film that took place over the course of one night, or one day, because I like those kind of movies, and also kind of touch base on mental health, like when I first film did. And I don't know, I just knew I wanted to act with this guy, and I knew that we would have really good chemistry and know each other forever, and he was, his performance in my first movie was great, so I knew he could do it. I wrote, I think, 20 pages of the script, and then I was like, hey, I know you're a good writer too, so I need to be playing the other part. So come over and we can work on this together. And so that's what happened with this one.
Can you just talk about your writing process and how you guys were collaborative with your process?
So when Brent brought up right after Seeking that I got another idea for a movie and I want you in it and I got a role and you're going to be this, and then it just kind of, all the stuff for Seeking kept going, and time passed, and I asked how he's doing with it, and this is about 20 pages in, and I'm like, okay, I've written a few screenplays now, what do you want? And so he's like, yeah, sure, I'll send it to you. So I read it, and I was like, okay, I think this and this and this and this. And the problem with me is, as soon as I dive my teeth into something I really like, I'm horrible. I'm just like, okay, now we're going to do this, and we're going to go. So I think it was really quick, because I think from 20 pages to 92 pages or 86 pages was like 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
For the first draft.
For the first draft of it. We just dove right in. We started talking about characters, where we want to see things, what we want to do. We actually had some good input after the first draft from some people they wanted to see some things expanded, so we went back and we expanded a few little things, and it was good. It worked really well.
And both of you wear so many hats on this, but Brent, you're making a trend out of writing yourself, starring, and also directing. So can you talk to me about what you learned doing another feature where not only you are one of the leads of the film, but you're also directing it, and how you maybe put your trust in other people on the stage to make sure that they're taking over some roles?
Oh yeah, I mean, we need to have a great cinematographer, which we had, and so we kind of talked about how I kind of wanted the look of the film and what I wanted for the cinematography and the shots, and because I know I was going to be acting most of the movie, so I needed to have somebody behind the camera that had my back. So we were on the same page, like we understood what I wanted, and yeah, it was actually pretty easy.
Oh yeah, no, Brent was really clear about his vision. I tend to overdo things when I'm filming most of the time, but with this one, he really wanted story first, to scale back the visuals and to kind of just be along for the ride with everybody else. And once that was made clear, the rest was in the script, honestly. You guys outlined things in such ways and expanded on so much that it was just about trying to capture the magic on the page, you know what I mean? So, no, I did what I could, you know what I mean? I got my eyes behind the camera, and it's kind of, certain times you'll take aside and be like, okay, well, do you want to try this? Do you want to do that? I was seeing this in camera. You know, a little bit of on set, but for the most part, you guys, thank you for all the faith you had in me, because it was a smooth, quick process when we were actually filming.
Of course, yes.
I think we had that magic third take on almost everything. I was saying to you earlier that there was no real horror stories filming this. Everything just went really, really well and really smooth, and it always seemed to be by take 3 we had it. So.
Well, that's so exciting to hear. And there's the flip side to people wearing a lot of hats on a set. We have 2 actresses here that did not have multiple hats, at least to my knowledge. And so I would love to hear from you, talking specifically about your co-star and the person that you're sharing this intimate scene with is not only your co-star, they're also the director and the writer of it. And what precautions and also just conversations did you have to feel safe and confident with performing this scene?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both Brent and Pete are such fantastic people, so they're so collaborative about their script and what's happening in the scene, which as an actor really makes it easy for you to be able to play and take a risk and make a choice, even if you make it and they're like, oh, that didn't fit in quite right, or that wasn't, or I'm like, oh, that wasn't great. It's nice to have an atmosphere where you can play, and I think they were both really good at being like, okay, this is my director hat, and now I'm gonna switch, and this is me here with you in the scene, and they're both so vulnerable and open, which is so incredible to act with. So it never became an issue. It was so seamless the way they transitioned between the two.
And a lot of the time, actors take some liberty with some of the scenes, but your co-stars here, Marissa and Rafael, were also the writers of the film. And so how did that come onto set with you guys, with wanting to bring your own creative taste and touch to the scenes? And how was that collaborative experience, right?
Well, for me personally, Mercedes, the character, when I auditioned for it, it just really helped me unlock my wild side, which I think is almost like I've never met, Pete and Brent before, but it's almost like they wrote it for me in the sense that it was a character I wanted to play so badly, because Raffia, the real me, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't party, I go to bed by like 10 p.m. So when I saw this character, I was like, I need to unlock this, So bringing that character to screen and to life, and getting Brent and Pete kind of gave me that creative freedom to be like, you know what, play it the way you picture Mercedes. And I just had so much fun playing her. So yeah, they were great. They gave me their feedback, they gave me the constructive criticism as needed, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun being able to just play with the character and kind of just have fun with it.
Well, it was neat because, Brent and I, when we went through the audition tapes, there's some people who auditioned that were great, but we're like, it's just not there. It's just not it. And both of their audition tapes, we're like, oh yeah, that's them. That's exactly them. So
most of the actors that are in here, like that audition, I knew right away when I saw the tapes. I was like, yeah, that's gonna work.
And Rafi, talking about just reading the script and auditioning, one of my favorite scenes in the film happens around the midpoint when you bring out this Bible. And again, it's a night with Nathan. This movie could have literally gone in any direction in that moment. So you're sitting there reading the script, auditioning for this. What is that like? Were you surprised, or were you curious as to where it was going to go next?
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, for the audition, we don't get to see the whole script, but you're right. Like when I was reading this whole, my audition consisted of the laundromat scene, and yeah, I definitely wanted to know like what's gonna end up happening. Is Nathan gonna get his, big moment to shine? And it was also like, okay, well, is he gonna be more into Jasmine or Mercedes? Like, where's all of this gonna end up? But the Bible thing, like, I didn't see it coming. And even as I was reading it for the first time, I honestly did think that we were, gonna start preaching and all of that. And when that caught me by surprise, just as much as it probably did the audience, hopefully did the audience when I was reading it.
The funny story about that scene is it actually happened to me. I was at work, and then some ladies came up to me and they were like, do you believe in God? And then I said, no, not really. And then that line that you say was just like, well, I feel like you just haven't seen what he can truly do. And then I went home and I'm like, I'm gonna put that in the movie.
And following that scene is one of my favorite scenes in the film. It's the argument between your characters in the parking lot. Can you just talk to me about just the contrast in that scene and how you set up, you had a lot of night exteriors in this, but that is one of my favorites in particular. I'd love to hear how you set up that scene.
The scene when we're arguing outside? Yeah. We just kind of, we talked about it, and I said to Pete, I'm like, we want this to be as real as possible, so feel free to shove me as hard as you want against your truck. I don't care. Just don't punch me for real.
Yeah, and the night exteriors often were, it was a fun challenge a lot of the time. I was working with a very limited kit most of the time. So specifically we would try to plan things so that where it was happening had some kind of diegetic lighting or motivation that I could add a light for. As you'll notice, when he's actually doing the confession, you can kind of see a light in the mirror or in the window the whole time, and that's because we parked right under a perfect street light. So that was giving our entire a bit of the fill onto Pete and a bit of the rim light onto Brent, but then I brought in a fill light to kind of, I really wanted to nail a balance on Brent's face. As you can see, it's like right on the verge of being too dark, but that was just kind of a supplemental light from the side, gave it a little bit. But the most times with these guys, you wanted to just get 360-degree lit and let them do their thing, because the performances in this were, they would take over any plans I had.
It's great, and as well, I'd love to hear more about your conversations in pre-production, talking about, there's a lot of handheld in this film, and yes, that can be something done in a lot of indie movies for budgetary reasons, but I want to hear creatively why you and Brent chose to have really, you don't have much static in this film. It's a lot of handheld, and I'd love to hear from the both of you about that decision.
Yeah, I just feel like the movie's dialogue heavy, and it's a lot of performance and acting. So I just feel like handheld just makes the scenes more interesting to look at, and it's not just like a stable camera with people talking, because I feel like that can look boring. And so I think, yeah, that's what I told you, I just kind of want a lot of handheld and a lot of long shots, people walking, and kind of just let the actors do their thing. And I think the few times where I was like, Daryl, you can put the camera on a tripod, you're like, oh, thank God. It's such a relief.
But it's definitely twofold, right? So I think when you restrict the static stuff, then when it hits harder. All the confession, when he was talking about his past and stuff, we lock that right off, and it gives it this bigger hit when you've been doing that. And the second fold is just, for anybody that's made a movie before, you want to keep these performances fresh, and with how many sets we had and how quick we were moving, there was an aspect of they did not want to get bogged down by the technical side, and that would free them up to do more acting. So it just really played into what the film wanted, right? And then, like Brent said, when I got to lock off, it felt great, and it felt like a relief for the audience too, right? Because the handheld really carries you through the night with them, and I think that was the biggest thing that we were trying to achieve.
Exactly, yes.
That's what Brent said to me when we started. He says, I want to do handheld. I want to make it feel like the audience is with us. I want them to go through our night together, and we'll do handheld, and that way they'll feel like they're part of the story. So that was the biggest thing he said to me, one of the reasons on why to do it that way.
And for a movie that literally has the word night in its title and takes a lot of parts at night, the ending is very deliberately in daytime to show the contrast. I don't know if I'm crazy, but it looks like it was shot on a different camera lens or something. It looked different, and I want to. Okay.
I'm so happy right now. So just a really quick story. So my lovely spouse and partner, Jamar Forbes, did a good majority of the nighttime, or of the color correction on the piece. But early in the process, you actually had a collaborator from your first project who you mentioned kind of wanted to take place. So I came up with this idea that what if he kind of focused on color correcting the daytime stuff, and Jamara focused on the nighttime. The goal was to try and give the look of two different film stocks, because that's how you would have had to shoot it in the back in the day, right? When the date comes up, you got to change film stocks. So that was my idea, and I gotta say, these guys were a little nervous when I pitched it to them, but I think it really...
Yeah, no, it's great.
Well, with Jonathan did the daytime color correction, and you guys would have noticed in the movie, starting at the beginning, it was very yellow based. And by the next morning, everything was green and lush. And he chose that he wanted to do the color correction to show the growth of Stan, where he starts off yellow. And at the very end of the movie, everything's green. Everybody's grown. Everybody's had that time to just blossom. So he went from yellow to very green. So if you get to see the movie again, which you will at some point, you can watch that and see that transition, and it worked fantastic with the night scenes, because it's something I don't think most people thought about, but as you saw, you felt like they just blossomed.
And just to add a button on that, the whole thing was shot with Black Magic Pocket Cinema 4K. I love that format. The 6K never did it for me. So I've been sticking with the 4K for a while, and Miyake, or Mikey, however you pronounce it, mini cinema lenses, but for the majority of it. And then like a Helios 58 for the close-ups that really needed a vintage kind of touch. But yeah, no, try to keep the gear consistent.
There's a common phrase that you make a movie 3 times. You write it, you shoot it, and you edit it, and a lot of the time they are literally 3 different movies. Brent and Pete, you guys literally were a part of the project. Writing it, acting, and directing, producing, and then also in the edit as well. I'd love to hear from both of you what your favorite scene at each 3 of those moments while making this were. So let's start with writing. When you were writing it, what was your favorite scene while writing it?
Yeah, I think the Bible scene, that was actually my favorite scene. Just because, like I said, I don't know, I thought it happened to me, and then I just thought it was even when I watched the movie, it's like my favorite part, I would say. So, yeah.
Writing for me, I like the last of the movie, kind of bringing back in the connection that she says to him, and it's earlier Stan says you need a connection. I really enjoyed putting it together at the end, so it flowed. That was my favorite thing. I know I'm nerdy. There's no great scene. I loved the Bible scene was hilarious, and the "Did you fuck my mom" is just incredible. I mean, it's great, but I really liked the writing stage was bringing it all together.
And acting, I'd love to hear actually from the 4 of you, just very quickly, just what your favorite scene was to perform in. Let's start with you.
I have to agree that I think the Bible scene is so fun because I think rarely as an actor, like the character knows that the intention of what she's saying isn't true. So I'm a character who does want to do ecstasy and does want to party, but I'm playing that I am about to preach the Bible. So to play with those multiple layers was really fun, and I think if you watch the movie back, you'll pick up on some hints that we dropped before the reveal that we weren't actually preaching the Bible.
I think for acting, my favorite scene would have been, oh God, yeah, all of them. I really did enjoy every part of it. honestly, I don't have one scene over another that I thought was great. I enjoyed the diner scene. It was nice to feel vulnerable and put myself in that place. But yeah, I just really enjoyed all of it. I'm still having fun. So
I guess, I talk about the confession scene because that's really where the movie really takes a turn. And I was really nervous about doing that because I think after we filmed it, I'm like, I don't know. I think it sounded all right, but if that didn't work,
fantastic.
then the whole movie doesn't work. Just like with us, like if we don't work in the movie, then we don't have a movie. So yeah, so that was tough to do, but hopefully it worked.
I'm gonna keep harping on that Bible scene because it actually was a lot of fun to do. But I watched the film today for the first time as well, and so I'm also gonna say as an audience member, if I may, my absolute favorite scene to watch was the confession scene. Like I had goosebumps watching that. Well done, Brent. You were fantastic. You really were.
I wasn't fishing for any compliments.
Yeah, I mean, I had to put it out there, but yeah, but as an actor to perform, yes, the Bible scene was so much fun, and then just to get every time we did a take for that, to get that reaction out of Pete and Brent every single time would make me laugh because they're just so real and authentic every single time, and it was a lot of fun.
And final question here, Brent, you have 100+ people in the audience here. What is the thing that you want people to walk away from when seeing this movie, and what are the conversations you hope are happening while people are driving home?
Just like I said, I hopefully that you were entertained by this film, but also you could connect with it in some way, whether it's with a character or the story, because that's why I loved film. That's why I love going to see movies, so that I can see things in it that I connect to, and then I don't feel as alone in this world. And I think if I can do that for some people, then that's what it's all about.
can I ask one favor? Is there somebody back up there with the house lights who might be able to turn them on? Because I just want to question, out of who's left in the audience right now, who was part of the movie who's not up on stage? Could you stand up for me? Whoever took place in anything, you were a promoter, actor.
If we give a big round of applause for all
Yeah,
the
it's actually
cast.
everybody there. So we'll take it down around here.
Honestly, it's fantastic. And we're up here chatting about it, but you guys are still there. And every single
Thank you.
person played such a pivotal role in making this go so smooth. Thank you.
Everyone here that was a part of the film will be in the Filmmaker Lounge afterwards, if you can ask all the questions you want. And I just want to say, on behalf of the Film Festival, thank you for coming out tonight. And let's give a big round of applause for everyone here and everyone in the crowd.